the way you want your Divas division perceived with how much conversation is being currently generated after all the fallout of WrestleMania 29 on Facebook and Twitter. I'm not really sure. Right now, if you want to keep having positive conversation, the best thing to do will probably be to have Kaitlyn retain the Divas Championship in the first two matches of the potential series between AJ and Kaitlyn, but there are so many benefactors to having AJ as your Divas Champion right now. The timing has never been better with Dolph Ziggler being the world champion. AJ has really stated her claim for the Divas Championship with a previous victory over Kaitlyn via counter. Regardless of how she won, she did win, and she solidified herself as the number one contender. She did win the Battle Royal statistically. It'll go down in the record books that she won that Battle Royal in the United Kingdom just a few days ago as part of the Raw Super Show. So by rights in the book, she is the number one contender for the Divas Championship, and I preferably would like to see a series between AJ and Kaitlyn for the Divas Championship as opposed to just one match on an up-and-coming edition of Raw or SmackDown or even at Extreme Rules. I want to see a match happen between these two on more than one occasion so that when AJ finally wins the Divas Championship, people will say she earned it as opposed to just having one opportunity after several opportunities slipping through her fingers and then winning the Divas Championship. I want to have people saying that she earned the right to call herself the Divas Champion, not being perceived as a mentally challenged character who took advantage of one opportunity because of interference on the behalf of another diva or a slip-up by Kaitlyn. Kaitlyn has been performing exceptionally well as your Divas Champion since winning it from Eve, and she's been a great representative of the Divas division. Again, there's just one problem I've had with Kaitlyn's reign as the Divas Champion over the past couple of months, and that is that she hasn't had any competition since winning the title. If she was having competition from month to month to month, and was at least defending the championship like she recently did on an edition of NXT against an up-and-coming talent on the NXT Divas roster, if she was defending the championship on a regular basis of once every 30 days, which statistically is what every champion in professional wrestling is supposed to do as a rule in the official rule book of every organization, I would be saying that Kaitlyn ultimately had more competition than what she's been having, which she hasn't been defending the Divas Championship regularly, and if she has, she's been doing it on house shows against someone who really doesn't ever have a chance of winning the Divas Championship eventually in their careers. I've said the Divas Championship has been equally distributed over the years, and every Diva's had an equal opportunity at holding the championship, but this has got to be the most lackluster time ever for the Divas division, and a lot of that has to do, ladies and gentlemen, with the releases of Kelly, Eve Torres, the Bella Twins previously, Maurice and Melina, Karma, who was a big part of the WWE Divas division back in 2011, coming and decimating it, and then leaving from fraternity leave and then being released following her announcement of her pregnancy. WWE really dropping the ball on her after her reputation she garnered in TNA, and there were big things planned for her. That has a lot to do with how lackluster the WWE Divas division has been. Really haven't agreed with a lot of the releases, but WWE are doing the best they can to redistribute their divas. On the all-new NXT, you can see some of the up-and-coming divas every Wednesday on WWE.com for an exemplification of what I've been talking about. I just hope that these divas get called up sooner than later, because the WWE Divas division really is in desperate need and is crying out for something critical to happen for it, and probably AJ facing Kaitlyn is the first critical thing that's happening for the Divas division in quite some time. I've wanted this ever since at least last year for AJ, but I'm not just sure about how the WWE are going to go about doing this. I think there is still a lot of confusion, if anything, of AJ's character, and they're not really sure what direction they want to take AJ's character in. Maybe if she wins the Divas Championship, she'll drop this mentally challenged perception of her character and go back to being a normal in-ring competitor. That would be phenomenal for AJ's character. Let's say she drops Dolph Ziggler, says she uses Dolph Ziggler to get to the top of the Divas division and the entire WWE, which really she was at the top of even before her affiliation with Dolph Ziggler. Let's say she drops the mentally challenged perception of her character and goes back to being a focused, competitive diva. That would do AJ's character an incredible amount of justice, and 5 or 6 months from now, I'd be writing about it for In My Corner with Jonathan Clarke column. I'd be talking about it more positively on my radio show, and I'd be applauding every contribution AJ will be making to the WWE Divas division. But something is telling me that WWE, when she becomes the Divas Champion, are going to continue to perceive her as a mentally challenged diva, which necessarily isn't the right way to perceive her character. She's one of the most talked about divas since the release of divas like Eve Torres and Kelly on Facebook and Twitter. That is doing her career an incredible amount of justice. She has a lot of followers on Twitter. She's one of the most followed divas statistically right now on Twitter. She's one of the most talked about divas on Facebook. That is great for her. That has a lot to do with her being the current number one contender for the Divas Championship. Her performance in the Battle Royal was very lackluster. I just hope she gets back into a competitive role in the WWE and gives me something more positive to talk about and write about for my column and both my radio show over the next 6 months, because if she doesn't, the WWE Divas division ultimately will be in the same precarious position that it's been in over the next 6 months that it's been in for a while, and I hope that WWE's Divas division can get themselves out of this precarious position by having AJ win the Divas Championship, which obviously is the direction the Divas division is headed in over the next 6 months. I'm hoping this match will happen over the next couple of weeks with a little bit of build and a little bit of hype to create a little bit of interest for the outcome of this match. I don't really think this match fits the criteria of a pay-per-view. That's really the only issue that I have with this match, and I hope that AJ does put up a little bit of offense in this match and makes this match something worth talking about for a review on a radio show or for a written column. I'm hoping that this match doesn't last about 5 minutes in length, with AJ providing no offense for Caitlyn, because as I said here earlier, Caitlyn needs competition, and if AJ's not going to give her the competition in this match, it's just, well, this match never happened. If it was offered anywhere, it should be offered to fans for free on YouTube a half hour before Extreme Rules, especially if this match is going to be offered on pay-per-view. AJ cannot afford to just lie there for about 5 minutes of a 10-minute long match, capitalize within the last 120 seconds of the match, and win the Divas Championship. She can't afford to do that. If this match is going to be offered on pay-per-view or on YouTube, this match needs to have offense from both individuals in the match and at least make it seem like it's a competitive match with a determined outcome, not a predictable outcome where AJ rolls Caitlyn up within the final 2 minutes of the match, kind of like how she won the Battle Royal to solidify herself as the #1 contender after Dolph Ziggler said to her, "You should have a championship much like me," after AJ was seen clutching the World Championship backstage. I think WWE are headed in the direction of making them their latest power couple since the McMahon-Helmsley era back in the early thousands. But I just hope there isn't a lot of confusion with both the characters of Dolph Ziggler and, more importantly, AJ, who really needs something profitable to happen for her career. I give WWE an endless amount of credit for finally pushing AJ, being involved with the World Heavyweight and WWE Champions over the past couple of months, making her a Raw General Manager, and making her one of the top divas of the entire WWE. Right now, she is one of the most unpredictable characters, not only in the Divas division, but of the entire WWE. There has never been a better time to make her Divas Champion again. The only little bit of confusion that I see with AJ being the Divas Champion is how much she's been competing as a competitive performer, and how the WWE Divas division will be perceived if AJ wins the Divas Championship, if they continue to perceive her the way that she's been perceived since becoming this mentally challenged individual ever since the beginning of 2012. It's been AJ's thing, at least for the last year. Is this really how you want your Divas division perceived? That's obviously how WWE Creative are headed in the direction of doing it. Let's hope something prominent will emerge from AJ being the Divas Champion. I invite you to tell me what you think of AJ's up-and-coming title match with Caitlyn for the title. There is a lot of history between these two. Really hoping there's a lot of empathy from their history of NXT Season 3 thrown in there. It only will take us a bit of time to figure it all out, but I hope when AJ becomes the Divas Champion, something prominent will emerge from this. You can tell me what you think of it on Facebook by connecting with me and joining the conversation. Facebook.com/EGW Entertainment. Following me on Twitter is how you can do it also by sending me a tweet with a creative hashtag, JonathanClarke1, where you'll find a lot of AJ Caitlyn videos of their history and their up-and-coming title match, and you can watch past video archives of my radio show on YouTube at youtube.com/JonathanClarke22. Congratulations to AJ for her solidification of being the Divas #1 contender, and I will see you next week. Hopefully when AJ becomes the Divas Champion, she'll have a prominent future ahead of her in her WWE career. She's won multiple championships prior to coming to the WWE, and I hope that her inaugural reign as the Divas Champion is something that's remembered as something more positive than it is negative. Congratulations to AJ for becoming the WWE Divas #1 contender for the title in the UK over the last couple of days on the Raw Super Show. It was a great match. Just wish AJ would have contributed more. She is the current #1 contender for the Divas Championship. Will she become the new Divas Champion? Will she be the first Divas Champion since Caitlyn won the title in her hometown of Houston? It remains to be seen. Caitlyn facing AJ, it's a match that's needed to happen, and it's finally happening with AJ's solidification as the #1 contender for the WWE Divas Championship. Congratulations to her. You will find this video as a featured video on our official YouTube channel, youtube.com/JonathanClarke22. You can join the conversation with me on Facebook at facebook.com/HW Entertainment, and you can follow me on Twitter at JonathanClarke1. Demi Lovato and Heart Attack, you can see the music video for this one on our Twitter at JonathanClarke1, is on the way after the break.
When something takes place in the world of professional wrestling, you know where to go. WrestleZone.com. WrestleZone.com. Covering all the latest breaking news daily. Interactive forums where you can chat with thousands of other wrestling fans. Exclusive editorials and audio features by some of today's top wrestling superstars. Exclusive video content, weekly polls, live play-by-play coverage of every WWE and TNA pay-per-view. And now, featuring WrestleZone Radio, live with news, in-depth discussions, debates, and interviews with wrestling's top stars, past and present. When you think wrestling, think WrestleZone. WrestleZone.com.
He considers himself God's gift to wrestling, and millions of his faithful agree. With nearly 4 hours of footage and exclusive commentary and matches, this DVD chronicles Daniel's rise from Chicago's Windy City Wrestling to the Asylum in Nashville, and finally to the top of TNA. TNA Home Video presents Heaven Sent, Hell Bound, the best of Christopher Daniels. Available at most retailers and TNAWrestling.com.
Hey you right there, the one listening to this show. While you're tuning into this broadcast or when you read the news on WrestleZone.com, are you forming opinions of it all? Or do you just agree with everything you see and hear? If you actually have some sort of afterthought, which, by the way, is normal, we want to know what it is. There are thousands of wrestling fans just like you that simply can't hold their thoughts in either. And they let it all out in our interactive forums. You have a voice, so use it. Simply visit forums.WrestleZone.com. Don't just be active, be reactive in the official WrestleZone.com forums. For all the latest in mixed martial arts, be sure to visit WrestleZone's sister site, SureDog.com. Complete with daily news, exclusive video, interviews, live radio broadcast, interactive forums, and the very popular Fight Finder with bios and complete match-by-match histories of your favorite fighters. SureDog is the only place you need when it comes to mixed martial arts. Visit SureDog.com today.
Hi, my name is Adam Nudelman, but I play the Phantom on the radio. I'm here to remind you that, screw that, my book, Mysteries of Wrestling Solved, is available at finer bookstores everywhere. That stupid fake voice, I hate it.